What's happening, y'all? Welcome in. It is Wednesday of Wake Up Barstool. And we got to recap that incredible WBC final last night as Venezuela ends up taking the title home. March Madness tips off. We had our first play-in games, and it's very exciting. We got multiple coaches, college basketball personalities. See right there, we got Speedy, Claxton, Tom Crean, all coming up on today's show. So let's get it on FS1. What's up, guys? Welcome in. Wake Up Barstool, T-Bob A-Bear, Brandon Walker, Ebo, Connor Griffin, and KB on today's show. It's mostly Wednesday here. Brandon, you seem especially ebullient today. Ooh. Effervescent even.
Can't even pretend like I know what that first.
How are we feeling, dude?
The fact that I sat in this chair after getting mic'd up, and by the way, showing up first like I always do, Carson, you're welcome.
It's insane.
I showed up 20 minutes before everybody else, and I'm sitting here, and I have to listen to this idiot on my left and this idiot on my right arguing over the greatest trilogy of all time. One of them saying The Lord of the Rings.
Yep.
The other one is saying Dune and Dune 2 and Dune 3. You guys are all terrible and morons, and I hate you. Good morning.
Now, knowing Brandon Walker, there's an actual best trilogy hiding underneath that because you have a take on everything. So what are you trying to say?
I don't have a take on the best trilogy. That's not something I'm going to sit here and do.
I think it's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost.
It's not exactly like it's very fertile grounds for takes. And you, the man of many, has none?
You know, it's not about having a take. It's about being subjected to your takes before the sun is even up.
Okay,
that's what it's about.
And it's snowing.
I'll say this. I was not a part of this conversation at all.
And I thank God every day for that.
But I will say now, another trilogy that should be thrown into the mix, the Spider-Verse trilogy. Assuming the last one that comes out.
See, now we're cooking.
Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse. That could be up there as one of the greatest trilogies of all time.
He can't say for best trilogy a series with only 2 movies so far.
Well, that's
there's a third one coming out.
That's what the Dune people are doing. They're putting Lord of the Rings on notice. They're trying to do it preemptively. It's crazy. It's crazy. And look, all are great. Mm-hmm. This is a bit like when you do like a top 5 list, and it's like, look, all 5 things are great here, but if we're going to compare them, then we're going to maybe take some shots that are ill-deserved. But yes, clearly it's Lord of the Rings. But I'm with you, Connor. I think every generation has a kind of landmark animation, right? Whether it's Snow White, Brandon, the first ever full-length animated feature. I think Sleeping Beauty and the 50 qualifiers.
The hell are you talking about?
Beautifully.
Nobody brought that up.
Toy Story.
Spider-Man's animated.
I understand, but he didn't say that every generation has its own animation.
I'm not a part of this conversation.
That's what I'm saying.
You just started it.
I'm not saying a word.
And Spider-Verse is in that number. What do you agree, KB?
I think it's, so are we talking trilogies?
Yeah, we're talking trilogy.
I think Cars did a decent job. I think Human Centipede did something.
Yeah.
It's the movie about what their faces were, what they were sewn to each other's buttocks.
Yes. Yeah. Souped, or I guess, yeah. It's good. I saw the first one. I somehow didn't close the loop on the other Human Centipede sequels.
A real proud club of men who saw the third one.
All right, guys, so let's get into it. Might be more palatable to talk Human Centipede than talk about last night's final for U.S. baseball fans. I don't know. Look, it was a spectacular final. What has been a spectacular tournament, but Venezuela, in the end, ends up getting it done 3-2. The rhythm of this game was such that the U.S. bats could not get it going all night long. It's 2-0. Then Bryce Harper comes up with the moment, only for Eugenio Suarez to come right back at the top of the night, take the lead, and then Palencia comes in, shuts the door, and Venezuela wins.
I don't want to overreact, but Mark DeRosa can never work in baseball again.
Okay.
I think
that might be an overreaction.
You think that's an overreaction?
Yeah.
I don't want to overreact.
Okay.
But Mark DeRosa can never work in baseball again. Listen, there's a lot of blame to go around here. It's an offense that was supposed to be one of the great offenses that's ever been put together in baseball. Last 2 games, they score 4 runs on 3 home runs. Other than the 3 home runs, they generate nothing. They manufacture nothing. They put nothing together. It was like 9 different guys playing 9 different games.
Yeah.
There was no cohesion. There was no cohesiveness. And you say, well, it's March and these guys are put together. Yeah, well, Venezuela looked like they were all in it together. All these other teams looked like they were all in it together. We looked like an all-star team that was playing an all-star game every single time we came out. Bryce Harper had the moment, and that's great, and that's fantastic. But Aaron Judge never had a moment. Nobody else ever had a moment. It was it's a bad loss for a country that should have. Well, we won 1 of these now?
Yeah, 1.
Since 2006?
Yeah, 1.
1 in 20 years. That's embarrassing. That's terrible.
It's also, I agree with you. It's frustrating, but like, is it not also good for the tournament though?
For the tournament, yeah, but I don't care.
I'm saying in terms of establishing the stakes, and then next time you go, like, because you want to feel threatened. You don't want to feel like sometimes the Dream Team, which I used to love growing up.
Sure.
The Dream Team did get boring at times because it just felt like a rubber stamp.
I'm from the good old US of A. I want boring. I want the USA to be the monster on top of the mountain. I want the USA. I want America to win these things. I don't care about the tournament. I don't give a damn about the tournament.
You can't appreciate life without the implication of death, Brandon. This makes that much more
What are you talking
special.
about?
That makes it that much more special when you end up winning one of these.
You say something.
I was just going to say, we've won 1 of these in 20 years, and we invented the damn sport, and people online are like, oh, like, who cares? It's an exhibition. If you take that sort of nihilistic approach to sports, we're going to have a terrible time.
Get out of here.
Get out. If you don't have the ability to care about representing your country or when your country's playing a baseball game, you're a loser.
Also, you can't watch how the Dominican played and how Venezuela played and tell me it doesn't matter. You just can't do it. And Derek Jeter's up there saying, yeah, guys who say this is bigger than the World Series have never played in the World Series. Well, Kike Hernandez played in 5 of them. And he's like, this feels bigger because he's playing for another country. Like, I don't know, man. I don't think we lost because we didn't treat it as that big of a deal. We lost because we just kept making bizarre. Why did Byron Buxton play last night?
I don't know.
Why did Cal Raleigh never get off the bench? There's all these questions.
Raleigh did go.
Why did Garrett Whitlock walk the first batter of the 9th inning after Bryce Harper has the moment of the tournament?
I mean, yeah, the main thing, I would say it was kind of a thing that we just didn't care. I don't know if we didn't care as much. It was just a matter of these teams, these MLB teams, and their agents kind of getting in the way of how the operations worked for this tournament for the USA. Like Mason Miller last night.
Yeah.
He absolutely should have been in the 9th inning, but instead we go with Whitlock.
Well, they had
because
yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, obviously the team said, well, he can only come in during a save situation in the 9th inning. He can't come in if it's a tie game. That was MLB saying that, not, DeRosa. So
I'm
just saying.
No, but that's interesting because that was actually the exact same agreement that the Cubs had with Palencia. But then Eugenio Suarez comes up with a run, and so they were able to use Palencia again. So that is a weird quirk of the timing of this tournament.
Yeah.
But
and then Scooble, obviously, like that. Yeah. That's a whole separate story.
I don't understand the Scooble thing because you wear the hockey jersey, you show up, you're doing Mr. Captain America, you're doing everything. I'm here for my team. I'm here with my team. Well, there's a very easy way to help your team. It's called your left arm, and go use it. And well, they got the season coming up. He's got to start. So his opening day starts in 9 days. 9 days from last night. That's plenty of time. I have no idea. Just don't agree to be on the team. That's
fine.
fine.
Might as well be in a row F.
Or leave.
If you don't want to be on the team,
you don't get to walk
don't
in
be on the team. That's fine.
Right?
Nobody's going to begrudge you if you say, you know what, I am going to choose my millions and my team over my country. That's fine. But just don't show up and wear the jersey and be like, oh, go team, when you could help.
Ebo, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Because this is something I was trying to parse and last night think about. Because I think Brandon hit on it, right? Like with Venezuela, the whole was greater than the sum of its parts. With the U.S., the inverse was true. They were less than the sum. But in a sport like baseball, how does that come about? Is it just because? Because like, and for anybody who's like, oh, what are you talking? Look at Eugenio Suarez's post-game interview. It's exactly what he said. They said, why is this team so good? Because of the cohesion. Like, they're like a family. They truly are united. But, like, I guess my question would be, how does that kind of come to, how do you come to feel that on the actual field? In a sport where baseball where it can feel so individualized.
I would say baseball has shifted a lot to, like, extreme efficiency the same way basketball has, in the sense that, like, we were trying to get to a perfect outcome of basically like driving the ball hard as you can up the middle or for home runs.
Yeah.
And that approach is good. It's good. We want to hit the ball hard, but there is a massive difference in terms of like the old school thought of baseball in terms of like getting a runner over and then and putting the ball in play. So you saw the Blue Jays last year. They were a great example.
They were
of a
good.
team
They
that
kind of manufactured old school.
Put the ball in play and hit the ball hard. It stinks. I don't know. Like the U.S. team kind of has like that the factory feel to them where they're like, we built these guys in a lab and they're perfect baseball players, but then it's like you go out and put them in a real world situation and it just didn't work out.
It's a shame for Bryce Harper because that moment was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And he's somebody that has been taking it on the chin for his performance. He hadn't really done much until that moment, and that moment was going to be awesome. And he's the guy that said, the Olympics would be a bigger deal. And he's rounding third last night after tying the game, really soaking it in, walking at one point.
Yes.
Between third and home, finding the camera, pointing at the flag, and then, what a great moment. And then our pitcher walks the leadoff guy, and when they manufacture a run.
Yeah,
bat
it's such
flip
a
and
wind out
everything.
of the sails. The bat flip was incredible.
Also,
but
why Mark DeRosa said he was honoring the Padres, right? Why would he pay respect to the other team's dads like that?
No, it's
I get respecting your opponent.
That was good, Evo.
That was really good, dude. That was really good. I mean, Brandon's probably going to crap all over this, but I like Joy.
Oh.
And I was kind of happy for Venezuela. They were super pumped. It was
I
hard.
don't.
It was hard not to be infected a bit by the crowd's joy, their joy, the tears. I mean, even if you get into some of the geopolitical stuff that's happened, like it's a pretty insane sports story for them to win this. And again, I thought Eugenio Suarez, he's professing his faith, his love for his teammates. I thought that was one of my favorite, most sincere post-game interviews that I've seen. And to do it in a second language, even more impressive.
So I think that's where a little bit of jealousy comes in. We watched a team full of great players go out there and seemed like they kind of cared, and Venezuela sent their team out there and they put their heart on the line. They put everything on the line for it. And it is a March exhibition tournament, and maybe our guys have the right approach professionally and everything, but at the same time, I'm a little jealous that we couldn't rally like our hockey team. My God, they went out there, they put it all out there. They were carrying the flag around and everything, and you just like to feel that kind of care from your baseball team, and maybe that's an unrealistic ask.
I mean, that being said, though, you saw the guys. It was Mason Miller, it was Kyle Schwarber. They get the silver medal at the end of the game, and they take it off immediately as they're going into the dugout. Like, you could tell they wanted it bad. And if there's that massive home run by Harper with the bat flip and pointing to the flag, and everybody's just completely alive in that stadium, and then we go on to win it in the ninth inning, it's a walk-off. Like, you would have had a real moment. Obviously, yes, the Venezuela moment was great at the end, but it would have been something comparable to that. I think for us still, it was just, didn't work out that way. It was very deflating.
So second WBC in a row where the U.S. comes up just one run short. Couple more years so we figure out if they can get over the hump. All right, so NCAA tournament, First Four, begins last night. A wonderful little appetizer, a little taster to kind of set the mood for what Thursday and Friday are going to be. Howard holds off UMBC. Texas, NC State, probably the headline here. A very exciting game back and forth. Some incredible shot making at the end of that Texas, NC State game.
That's one way to put it. It was certainly a lack of shot making for most of the game, but yeah.
No, but at the end, the run at the end was fantastic. That's March. That's what you look for.
There's a great shot to win it. Shout out to Texas for winning that game. And this is a beautiful, brilliant shot at the end. Awesome. I hate the discourse now becomes about should it have been a technical foul.
Yeah.
And that might be logical discourse and that might be logical talk, but like let's just let the boys have fun.
Wait, so I don't know if I'm under a rock. What's the what are they?
So it's all every time somebody hits a shot with like a second left or whatever, and you saw the NC State.
Oh,
player
the coaches
complaining.
running on the court.
Coaches
and
any players running on the court. It's always technical foul. You don't want to win like that.
No, hell no. Get the hell out of here, dude.
What did you think of the Xavier fans pulling up for the hate watch last night? Did you see this?
I didn't see the Xavier fans.
The Xavier fans were they were in the crowd in Dayton, hating on their former coach, who is now the head coach of Texas.
I think that is one of the more pathetic things I've ever heard in my entire life. And I think if you're a grown man following your former coach around just to hate on him, I do envy your focus, I guess, your ability, your commitment.
Isn't that
but
also
I
what
think
makes,
that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Isn't that also what makes sports like the best, though? Because these people are so ill-adjusted that they're going just to hate on their former head coach.
I think there's an obsessiveness and an importance placed on your favorite college team that is borderline too much. And the passion of college sports makes it the best, but there's a fine line in passion and being an idiot. And that seems like being an idiot.
Is that somewhere between poisoning trees and...
Yes, poisoning trees is a little bit too far as well.
Shout out Harvey.
Poisoning trees is one thing. Poisoning trees and then calling the state call-in show and telling everybody you did it might be the line.
See, I was going to say...
That might be the line.
I was going to say that kind of makes it okay. That you're such a psycho that you literally called and admitted the felony just so they would know. Like you wanted, like tell them it was me. I want them to know it was me. That's crazy behavior.
Can I say one thing? We're I don't know how many years in we are for the First Four. It's over a decade now, right? It's been a while.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how. It'll just never feel like the NCAA tournament, will it? And that moment was great at the end. The game itself, does it feel like it to you guys?
No.
I don't think it's supposed to, though.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be the entree. I think it is an appetizer.
It's a small plate.
Yeah.
Both games wound up being great. Both came down to the last shot and everything like that, so we'll take it. But
I'll just
I would
shut
agree.
Up. Maybe I'm being a stupid.
No, the stage isn't the same, clearly, but I think it's fine. I think it's a nice little taste of what we're about to get. But it was nice.
Yeah, exactly. It kind of wets the palate. All right, so coming up next, guys, we're going to talk more college basketball. We got Hofstra head coach Speedy Claxton coming on. Don't go anywhere. Grab a coffee. We got plenty more Wake Up Barstool coming your way all morning long. Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool, guys. It is my pleasure to once again welcome on another coach who's about to enter the big dance. This time is Hofstra head coach Speedy Claxton, a Hofstra legend in his own right, NBA vet, now back coaching his alma mater. Coach, how does it feel to be back at Hofstra and now first tournament appearance for the school? Where's the emotions? That first tournament appearance since 2001 for Hofstra.
Yeah, emotions are at an all-time high. I mean, this last, week and a half been truly amazing. Just walking around campus, in the community, like everyone's backing us. Everyone is behind us.
So I got a two-part question. Number one, let's get to the important stuff. I was looking at the background in your shot there.
Beautiful home.
I think that's the biggest grill I've ever seen in the backyard there. Is that a grill that's covered up over there? Because I've never seen one that big.
Yeah, it is. I'm a big griller. I got to take that cover off soon because grilling season is upon us.
You're right. It's close. It's close. I'm excited about it, too.
It is approaching.
What's your favorite thing to grill? I mean, like, do you have a meat of choice? Just steak?
I'm a steak guy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put some steak on the grill.
So now we're getting to the good stuff.
Bone-in ribeye? What are we talking here?
New York strip. Come on.
Okay. Fair. My bad. That's fair. That makes sense. Loyal to the soil. That's good. Dude.
Second question, not related to that at all. Alabama's a very good team, and they're gonna get up and down. I'm right? Alabama's playing Hofstra, right?
Mm-hmm.
You looked at me like that was crazy. Alabama's a very good team. They score a lot of points. What does this matchup mean for you? What are you looking at as far as this matchup goes?
Yeah, it's gonna be a good matchup. They actually recruited and got one of our players a couple years back in Aaron Strada, so we're very familiar with them because that was my guy. So I watched a lot of their games when he played for them, and they went to the Final Four. So very familiar with them. Nate Oates does a really good job. Great coach. Like you said, they're gonna play fast, get up and down the court. Different play style than we're used to seeing on a nightly basis. But we've seen it before because we have a team in our conference and William & Mary who plays that similar play style. So we're more than ready to handle it.
Well, Coach, you talked about the vibes being at an all-time high and the buy-in from the university and the fan base and everything is incredible. There's definitely like a different energy to this week. But from your perspective, in terms of game planning and getting the team ready, how different is the approach in that regard? Do you make it feel different, or how does that go?
I try not to make it feel different, but it's gonna feel different because it is different. But I just try to tell my guys to embrace the moment and enjoy everything. You know, go to class, and all these guys are they're receiving standing ovations when they walk into class, and it's earned, it's well deserved. I'm happy for my guys, but it's time to get down to business. Like, we're ready to play.
Speedy, when you look back to your time at Hofstra, Jay Wright was the head coach. You go on, you have an NBA championship to your name, so you've had a lot of success in this game on these stages. Is there anything that you've learned in your own playing career over time, or maybe even from Coach Wright, that sticks with you about how to survive the kind of rigors of an entire tournament run?
Honestly, it's all about competing. They lace their shoes up just the same way we lace our shoes up.
Yep.
So we're gonna go out there and we're gonna compete. Obviously we're the underdog, but I tell you what, my guys never scared of the moment. We went on the road this season. We beat Pitt at Pitt. We beat Syracuse at Syracuse. So my guys are gonna be up for the challenge. Now, like, they're not gonna back down. They're gonna be ready for this moment.
Do you have to calm them down? Do you have to calm them down from making the tournament and get them back to now we're playing basketball again, where all the hubbub, all the standing ovations in class?
Hoopla.
Yeah, listen, Friday we got a game, guys. Do you have to bring them down?
Nah, not really. Like I said, my guys are ready to play. They're ready for this moment. If anything, I probably gotta tone them down a little bit so they don't go out there too aggressive and pick up some cheap fouls. But we worked hard for this, man. It's been a long time coming. For the university, for the program. But this group specifically, like, we've worked hard for this since June.
Coach, you were talking after you guys won the CAA championship about how you're so close with your college teammates. Can you maybe speak on what makes that relationship so special, like your college teammates versus your high school teammates and your professional teammates?
Yeah, so my college teammates, my guys, I gotta shout them out. Norm Richardson, Jason Hernandez, Mike Philly, Jeff Fox, Mark Petit, Rick Apodaca. Like, those are the guys that I stay in communication with. With that team, the landscape was different back then because we were together for a number of years. So our first 2 years together, we kind of fell short of winning our conference tournament. But then my senior year, most of those guys, junior year, we finally pushed through. So it meant a lot because, like, year after year, like, we grinded, we stayed together. Like, no more transferring wasn't big back then. So it was like, we finally completed the mission. So I will always remember those guys, and those guys will forever be my brothers. And then, in the professional ranks, it's more business approach. Like, you guys are teammates, and you might be friends for that year, but it's not a real friendship.
So Speedy Claxton,
it's more like a coworker.
So Speedy Claxton didn't like his Spurs teammates. Got it.
No, those are my guys. No, listen, Malik Rose did reach out to me and congratulated me. Like, that's the one. Him and Steven Jackson are the two guys that I do speak to here and there.
So here's the most important question we'll ask you. 2 days ago here at Barstool Sports, which is just a bunch of, I guess, employed former nobodies. We're all nobodies, and none of us are good at sports at all, and none of us are good at basketball. So we hosted a game where we played Jason Williams, White Chocolate, and we played a bunch of other guys.
My man Jay Will.
We played Tyler Hansborough. We brought all these guys into our court, and we played them 5-on-5, 5-on-6, 5-on-7. I guess what I'm saying to you, Speedy Claxton, is next year we're looking for players. If you've still got some tread on the tires and you want to get out there, I'm inviting you right now to come play us.
I'm gonna hoop it up with y'all. Definitely.
We didn't win till it was 15 players to 2.
15 on 2.
It was.
And let me explain to you what he just said.
Listen. A win is a win.
No.
That's what I said, Speedy. Coach, it's about how you finish. It's not how you start.
Let me explain. So it started out at 1-on-1. It got to 5-on-5, and Barstool got to add every single time they lost. So it got all the way. When he says they won at 15-on-2, that means they lost at 15-on-3.
Yeah. But again, Brandon.
It's how you look at it. It's how you look at it.
What have you done for me lately? Wait, but Coach, I did want to kind of build off of.
We got some highlights.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
This is the highlights from the actual pros.
Maybe some downlights.
I think kind of a natural extension of what you were just talking about a second ago was, how do you as a coach who, as you're talking about how important and permanent your college relationships were, right? Like you guys every day, multiple years, one goal to break through together, and now you're the head coach where everything's transient. And it's probably taken on a much more co-worker type of feel, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Like, so are you seeing that with the current boys now? And then how do you look to instill some of that brotherhood when they're all over the place?
With this team specifically, I'm gonna say yes and no. We were fortunate to retain a lot of guys. I'm not gonna say a lot of guys, but key guys from my last season's team in German Platnikov, Silas Sunday, and of course Cruz Davis. And then you add and Joshua Decady. So those are 4 of our 5 starters. Then you add a high character guy in Preston Emmy, and that's why we were so good this season right here. Because of the retention part of it. We know going forward that it's difficult. The landscape is difficult because you're gonna have a new team pretty much every single year.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to do different things, in the summertime to bring your team together. So I know this year I try to do a lot of team bonding activities. This past season we played volleyball. The season before that we did softball. The season before that we had a bowling day. I have my guys over to my house. We have a barbecue pool party. So you gotta do a lot of team bonding activities to so guys can get used to each other, and they can form that chemistry off the court. Because once you have chemistry off the court, it helps you on the court.
There you go.
All that stuff sounded great.
Yeah, it did sound fantastic, especially the barbecue. Mm-hmm. That's why the grill's so big. You got a lot of mouths to feed. Coach Claxton.
Yeah, I'm a big griller, so my guys like coming over.
Coach, I really can't thank you enough, man, for coming on. Congrats on all the success. Congrats on winning the conference tournament. Now it's time for the big dance. Kick Alabama's ass. How about that? I hate Alabama. I hope you whoop their ass.
I like it.
Let's go. Go Hofstra. You have a great day, Coach.
You too.
All right, take it easy, man.
I'd like to invite you guys.
I love Speedy, by the way. Great charisma.
I'd like to invite you guys to my team bonding thing. I'm going to host a barbecue for the Wednesday crew. How about that?
Yeah, hell yeah, I'm in.
Great.
You actually had me for barbecue. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a good time.
How important to his career in life do you think transitioning from Craig to Speedy was?
Why didn't you ask him?
That would have been a great question.
Oh, man. Damn.
Come on, KB.
Yeah.
We needed that. All right, coming up next, the best segment that we do on this show.
Yeah.
The man who would seek to take my job. It's time for Connor's Griff-Ins and Outs.
If he ever hosts a show, I'm leaving.
Next week, baby.
Get ready, baby.
What's up, y'all? Welcome. Carson.
You knew the whole time. He was counting you down.
No. He was pointing at that camera. He set me up. Yeah. Anyway, whatever, guys. Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool. Hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday, man. Hump day. Let's do it together. Right now, though, it's time for
That's what day it is.
Griff-Ins and Outs. Connor, what are we taking into next week with us? What are we leaving behind?
Heck yeah. Okay. Well, we were talking about it to start the show. My first in, Dune. Dune is very much in. The Dune 3 trailer dropped yesterday. There were some posters that were coming out the other day, and the excitement's already infiltrated the sports world. We had Team USA, Fox was putting out this graphic the other day of Aaron Judge in honor of the new Timothée Chalamet poster. The epic conclusion, unfortunately, was not as much of an epic conclusion for Aaron Judge in the World Baseball Classic, but get ready for a full year of the Dune sports edits, Timothée Chalamet, Long Live the Fighters, Lisan Al-Gaib. It's going to be all over social media, all over the sports world. I can't wait for Dune 3. Brandon?
Dune 1, great. Dune 2, even better. Dune 3, seems like a lot, but probably still good. Dune 4, way too much. We can't have Dune 4.
What do you think, Brandon?
You like Dune 3?
Yeah, I would say I like Dune 3.
You like Dune 3?
Yes, I do like Dune 3.
Yeah, I bet you do. I bet you do.
Hasn't even come out yet. How do you know you like it?
Yeah, how would you know? Huh?
But it is.
We're on national TV. I can't finish.
You can't
close the loop on this.
You can't finish the joke.
What am I? I'm missing. I don't know. KB, do you like Dune?
Dune 3.
Yes. What is going on?
Yeah. I'm off. Is this a setup for doing?
No, I don't know either. I feel like
doing 3
who is setting up who here?
chicks at once.
There we go.
Maybe not literally at once.
Okay. I see now.
You're the master of wordplay. That one.
I don't know. I must be slow today. I'm gonna have this. Third coffee just got poured, so maybe it's time. Look. Every generation produces like.
Stop doing this every generation thing. I've heard you say every generation 5 times this morning.
I'm in a reflective, generational cinematic mood after the trailer yesterday, and I've had
Why
this thing
can't a
for
movie
years.
just be a movie? Why do we have to do this?
Because every generation produces an epic.
I'm just looking
For you, look.
Every
For
generation
you,
produces a bunch of epics.
look. For you, it was Ben-Hur. For the next generation, it was Star Wars. For me, it was
about the
probably
Ten
Lord of the
Commandments?
Rings. Yes, exactly.
Right, there's multiple epics in generations.
Yeah, I know. But this is like the sci-fi epic. This is the sci-fi category epic of our time.
And there is going to be a bit of a crossover. It's also just because Chalamet's hot in the streets and everything. There was a sports crossover between him and Marty Supreme. There will be now for Dune 3. So sports fans, get ready to see a lot of Dune in the upcoming future.
Can you just
Good
text
end.
me when the popcorn buckets drop?
Yes, absolutely. You'll love those. My first out. I'm out on Canada claiming hockey. Can't do it anymore. There was a clean sweep between the Olympics and the Paralympics. Men's and women's hockey at the Olympics, sled hockey at the Paralympics. USA beat Canada for gold every single time. You had, obviously, the baseball team last night paying homage, which, yeah, I mean, we didn't win it in baseball. We won it all in hockey, so at the very least, let's just say that we're a hockey country.
So I was gonna say, do you think that like hockey is the second most popular sport in America? Like in most states, like let's say you had multiple professional teams, I would venture to say that hockey is in a lot of places the second most popular.
You would think that,
right?
Yeah.
Like probably like Detroit, probably like Minnesota,
Pittsburgh,
Vegas might be the overall favorite. Oh no, the Raiders, but then right after the Raiders, maybe.
Brandon got in a lot of trouble this week.
I'm not fighting this battle again today.
People online hated Brandon because
hockey Twitter is just the most sensitive place on earth. I'm not getting into it.
But it's almost a take worth bringing up on television because it's a take that got the people fired up.
That's the problem, T-Bob. I never had a take. I had a question. I had a question.
You had a question with an implication of a take, though.
I had a question followed by my thoughts on the matter. Now let's all discuss it. And I said, I think, when somebody says the Penguins are bigger than the Pirates in Pittsburgh, I think what they're telling me is the Penguins have been good and the Pirates haven't. Because I think there's a deep-seated love for the Pirates that goes back 100 years in Pittsburgh, and it is dormant because that organization is crappy. And the second they win, they pass the Penguins. And I believe that in Detroit as well. The Tigers are already on the come-up, and they're already passing the Red Wings. And I believe that in Minnesota. If the Twins were good, they would be ahead of the Wild. And that's all the cities that say their hockey team is bigger than baseball is where the baseball teams are trash.
But also, especially with Pittsburgh and Detroit, you're talking about two of the most legendary hockey franchises of all time.
Certainly you are.
So, like, I don't know. Now, the Wild, I guess it goes more to Minnesota being hockey crazy than, like, Wild success. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't think I agree with you. But a strong conversation starter nonetheless.
Yeah. Sure. And hockey's definitely on the come up here in
all
America.
the way. Also,
Canada.
couldn't get the rights to show it, but for the sled hockey.
Oh, yeah.
The seeded rivalry graphic that the U.S. Olympic Committee put out was fantastic.
Phenomenal.
Great job, guys.
Sled hockey, 5 straight golds at the Paralympics. So
wow.
Canada, no longer a hockey country. I'm out on that.
All of them can walk.
I am in on analytics, though. I've been toying with this for a while. Ebo, you'll be glad to hear this. I've been out on analytics pretty much ever since they became a thing. I'm back in on them, though, because this is one of the best analytics that I've ever seen. This is a great stat. If we incorporated more of this, it would be great. The most pasta consumption, most pounds per capita. This is what we're using to quantify
Look at Venezuela, dude.
in the World Baseball Classic.
That's. I'm not. Okay.
Okay.
We're on
Anyway,
TV. We're on TV. I can't.
Yeah, but we're talking about pasta. Italy, 51 pounds of pasta consumed per capita, and it's #1 in the world.
Venezuela third.
Which that shocked me. I would not have.
I'm just gonna say it. Showing a fat guy while they put that graphic up was crazy.
No, it makes all the sense in the world.
He seemed jacked.
Look at how much pasta he eats.
He's also got the chain rocking. Yeah, that's great.
Tunisia. Should they be better at baseball?
Interesting.
According to this analytic.
Is there spaghetti canonically in the Star Wars universe? Isn't Tatooine representative of Tunisia?
Yes, there is
that's a good
not
point.
necessarily,
Very
but
good point.
it is.
They don't have Star Wars. They do have Jizz, Space Jazz.
But they don't have they don't have cows, right?
They actually.
Can't have a nice meat sauce for the spaghetti if you don't have cows.
Well, also they're moisture farmers on Tatooine. At least Uncle Owen was implying a lack of water, which
You're
I think
thinking
would
of
make
Dune
pasta creation tough.
So you thinking of Dune?
You like food, right?
I do a lot.
Where does the line for pasta? Lo mein noodles.
Sure.
Pasta?
Yeah,
Yeah, I would say no.
Udon noodles.
they're noodles though.
Ramen noodles.
Are pastas just not noodles?
Where is the line for pasta?
That could be
Because
toying with the analytics here.
What's your next one?
My next
Oh, yeah,
one.
that's a good point.
Yeah, we'll have to explore this.
Because
in the
like maybe
commercial
they're
break.
not represented in that. Oh, wow.
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe
But
we'll have to talk to
then
the
like
analytics guy.
Japan, Korea, they're all very good at
I
very
just
good
think
countries at baseball too.
The preparation of noodle in Italy becomes pasta? Or you don't tell me next. I'm talking about pasta.
someone in the truck figure that out.
I'm out on scheduled tweets, and I want to get your guys' take on this. The Pittsburgh Steelers the other day, moving off the World Baseball Classic, they put out a happy birthday graphic. This isn't the actual graphic, I don't think. But it,
I was just saying, what?
I don't think they used that picture. But they put out a happy birthday graphic for Mike Tomlin, which leads me to believe that this was a scheduled tweet that they had put out.
Why?
Or maybe they were
Why
just
though?
putting out.
He was their coach for 20 years.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think-
but still, they fire him, and I don't know.
I mean, no, he
They parted
resigned.
ways.
He resigned technically. Yeah.
Technically, yes. Sorry, it was a resign.
I think
But
at the end of the day, they shook hands and like, you had a good 2 decades here. Thanks
Yeah.
for the Super Bowl.
You
Good
don't
luck
wish
to
a guy
you.
a happy
There's nothing wrong with
birthday,
wishing the
Connor.
guy a happy birthday.
There were some people saying that probably this was
Those
a
people are
scheduled tweet
losers.
that they never fully deleted, and the admin.
That's insanity.
Listen, I
to
just
me.
wanted to
I
bring
hate
it
how
up.
cynical we are now.
that you
Yeah.
could arrive, that people
That's
would
lame.
arrive at that being the conclusion is absurd, rather than like, this guy was our leader for 2 decades. We can't wish him happy birthday anymore.
When I fire you from Mostly Sports, I'm still going to tell you happy birthday every September.
See, look at that.
December, but you were close.
Yeah.
My next in sticking with football, it's versatility. Carson Tout played basketball at Notre Dame. He is now going to be on a contract with the Indianapolis Colts. They are trying to convert him to a tight end. I don't know if he's ever played football before, but they've done this before. They did it with Mo Alley Cox, the Colts did, where they took a basketball player, college basketball player, tried to convert him into being a tight end. It worked out, and we'll see exactly if it works out for Carson Tout.
So-
I like this. We should be doing this more.
Who's the most famous? Who's the best football player that ever did this? There's one
Antonio Gates.
Antonio Gates,
Penn
yeah.
State
Not even
University.
Julius Peppers.
Peppers?
Kent State.
Wait, but Peppers played
played,
football
but-
though.
Well, Gates also played football.
Oh, I thought
they didn't
Gates-
just take him off the basketball court. He played both.
Oh, did he really?
I think.
I thought he did come off the basketball court.
I don't
Maybe
know.
I had my Antonio Gates lore wrong.
I don't know if there's a guy that played 4 years of basketball, never played football in college, and then became an
Remember
NFL
when
star.
Mo Alley Cox, I don't even think played like that much in high school.
When George Mason went on their Final Four run,
Jai
they had that-
Lewis.
they had that big man that
Jai
do
Lewis.
this.
Yeah.
What a beast.
I want to see where this goes. I think we should be doing this more often. So versatility in, and then my last out, and I want to look straight in the camera for this.
Yeah, lock in.
I am out on making multiple brackets for March Madness.
Yes.
Don't be the guy. The worst guy you could possibly have is the guy who's like, oh, I picked that upset correctly. Meanwhile, they picked it in one bracket out of the bajillion that they made. Make one bracket, stick to it, and then if you get an upset right and you call it right, then you can celebrate that. Tyrese Halliburton has it perfectly right. Make one bracket, stand on it.
It's the exact same energy as the multiple fantasy
Yes.
guys who sit there and say, "Oh, I got him," but it's like, no, you really only have in this one league, and it's all over.
Is this a bit of a boogeyman though? Like, have you ever? How many people you know are putting together multiple brackets?
I know a ton.
You're creating
know
a
these
problem
people?
here. Is this affecting you?
Yeah, absolutely. The worst person you could possibly have is the one.
Tell me where the bracket hurts you.
There are people who are doing multiple brackets. That's
Sure.
true.
And you know them personally?
I just hate when they brag about it. And just like the people to T-Bob's point,
Yeah.
they'll say like, oh yes, I have Saquon Barkley in this league. Oh, but I'm also playing against him in this league, so I can't have him be too good because I need, like, just make one bracket, and that way you don't have to worry about a team winning in this one but losing in this one. Just make one bracket.
Hey, America,
not
we're
many
putting a
of my-
limit on your fun.
Not many in my friend group, but a
was
lot
gonna
of
say, I think-
casual conversation when somebody stops you and they want to talk about it. Yeah.
So we filter a lot of this behavior out socially. You can get rid of these people.
Yes. Yeah.
Connor, why don't you just relax, man? Why don't you just chill out? Why don't you just let March be March and let people be people, baby?
When did you turn into Matthew McConaughey from Dazed and Confused?
Why don't you?
What is this right now?
Connor, why don't you just relax? I almost
Anyway.
cussed there. Just relax.
That's why I love these brackets.
I'll
All
take
right,
a chill
guys.
pill.
All right, there it is. Griff-Ins or out?
That was the worst one yet.
We had some fun.
No, that was great. It's always.
Can we get a bonus one?
We talked
always the
noodles.
best.
We talked everything. We covered it all.
The noodle question is going to stick with me throughout the rest of the day. Like, I got to figure this out. If what determines pasta.
What the hell is that?
Coming up next, we got more Wake Up Barstool. What is that? That's a planetarium?
Yeah,
It's right next to the
That's
Shed
here?
Aquarium, yeah.
Cool architecture.
I love this.
Looks like Tim's out of Dune. The field for the college basketball crown is set. 8 teams are headed to Vegas to play for their share of a $500,000 NIL payday. If you want to get your tickets, visit collegebasketballcrown.com. Collegebasketballcrown.com. Look at that, guys. Look at that.
Sooners.
That's what you got?
Sooners.
There you go.
I got the Sooners.
It's got the Sooners.
I mean, that's an incredible backstabbing on your boy TJ, who's been with you through thick and thin.
Yeah, no Rutgers.
Yeah, but he didn't stay thick long. It's mostly been
Yes.
thin. He got thin pretty quick.
True.
Because he used to be fat.
Yeah, no, he's not. Good for him for sure.
I'm going to go with Rutgers.
I'm
going to be supporting Rutgers.
I am prepared to drop my favorite movie trilogy of all time.
But not this segment.
I don't think we got the time.
Yeah, we don't have time.
don't
We
think
do have the time to show a funny highlight from last night, something that you've maybe never seen before in an actual NBA court. So Alex Caruso lost his shoe in last night's game, and he decided to get a bit creative with playing some defense here. Terrible setup by me. There's some wordplay to be had there, and I
Sure,
just blew
sure.
it. But look at this. He has no shoe on. He has it in his hand, and he literally used it to get an extra couple inches and block the shot.
Hey, T-Bob, more like Alex Caruso.
See, there we go.
You know, there was wordplay to be had. That wasn't it.
No, but that's workshopping. That's how it starts.
Oh.
Caruso.
For real.
So creative? No. Caruso. Is that
Yeah.
legal?
No, they gave him a technical foul.
Oh, okay. He did get
This happened in the 1980s. Bill Walton picked up a shoe and tried to block a shot with it, and the official Jess Kersey gave him a technical foul for violating the rules of the spirit of the game, or the spirit of the rules of the game. And that's, you can't use your shoe to do anything.
But you know what he did get? All ball.
He did. It was a clean play.
It was a clean block, dude. Shout out Caruso, game of inches, and he had it lined up perfectly.
Why?
What are you doing with your shoe?
We're doing.
I just wanted to see what it was like.
Here, Evo, take a shot. No, no.
That was the most unathletic thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Well, admittedly, it's hard to block the
throw it to
full
Evo.
momentum. And,
Let Evo shoot.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's what we need to do here. Yeah. Oh, wow. Right back. Let's go.
There we go. Was that better?
Oh, wait, y'all actually, because all we do in this office is play basketball. Y'all played a one-on-one against each other
Wait,
yesterday.
which we will see exactly how that turns out.
Can't talk about it at all.
Oh,
We record
okay.
it.
Okay, perfect.
But it is a very, very interesting first round matchup. Rico and Roan.
Toe to toe.
A little bit of a, yeah, a little
Spoiler
bit.
alert, I won the whole thing.
Yeah.
Imagine that. You came out of retirement?
Oh, no, I was in Gurney by the time they started playing.
Well, yeah, we got to break out the shoe more often, maybe in our pickup games. Maybe the Juggernauts this year.
Caruso, friend of the stool.
Absolutely.
He was here. He was just chilling in the office a couple weeks ago.
All right, guys. So look, we got a lot coming up. So we got McNeese head coach Bill Armstrong kicking off hour number 2. Then we got Tom Crean coming on. We got more basketball talk. We got some NFL news to get to as well. And
When you talk trilogies,
Brandon Walker's best ever cinematic trilogy. Next segment.
coming up next.
Next segment.
Yeah, baby.
Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool. T-Bob, Brandon, Ebo, Connor, and KB with you on this Wednesday, kicking off hour 2 with my guy, Coach Bill Armstrong, currently McNeese head coach right now, getting ready for the NCAA tournament. A man who spent years in Baton Rouge when I was doing my radio down there as well. Coach Armstrong, what's up, man? How are we doing today? Thank you for joining us.
Man, we're doing great. I appreciate you having me on.
I don't like what you just did.
What?
You just said we're going to bring on my guy, and then you said I was down there, and you guys have never met.
We never met before. We did used to talk about Coach Armstrong a lot, like recruiting circles and everything, behind the scenes. Yeah, man, look, it was, but we did never meet. We never crossed paths. So it's great to finally cross paths. Don't worry about Brandon. He wouldn't
Better late
understand.
than ever, man. I'm glad to finally cross paths and met you.
Hey, so because yeah, look, you and Coach Wade, y'all worked together for a while. Obviously, he's there last year. You now take over, and here you are, McNeese, still back, still kicking ass. What was it like taking over, and how do you continue the success, but still kind of make the team and the program your own?
Yeah, you always want, to me, everybody talks about the pressure of taking over after Will Wade, taking us to back-to-back NCAA tournaments. We'd only been to 2 NCAA tournaments prior to Will getting here, and then now we're on our 3rd consecutive. But to me, that's the kind of job you want to take over because you can have a lot of success. The support's there. That's the most important thing is it being supported. And we have a great athletic director in Heath Schroyer that gave me an opportunity to continue this thing and to take the torch from Will Wade and run with it. So and then we have the support from all of Lake Charles. We got great fans, we got great support, and that's how you're able to win. That's how we're able to be the first team from the Southland to get 3 consecutive 12 seeds, and those are the things you need to be successful. And I wanted to be a part of that.
So I have a question. Oh, first of all, hello, I'm Brandon Walker, the #1 college football media personality in the world, but I also dabble in college basketball.
Brandon, you're the #1 in the world.
What?
I saw your preseason.
Okay.
Oh, no. Wow.
I didn't know you were #1 in the world when. Okay, I got it now. I got you, Brandon. Go ahead.
What is this?
Coach?
It's an
I
ambush.
hope your bracket's better than your football prediction.
By the way,
Nice to meet you,
production
Brandon.
actually left a mic open, and the entire production room is laughing at you. Right
Did
now,
they
Brandon.
did they tell him about that?
No, that's just
Oh,
Coach
man, I watched
Armstrong, dude.
Okay, all right, Coach. Well,
I'm a college football fan.
let's focus. Let me focus
All right,
here.
we'll get focused. Okay.
I want to ask about the star of your show.
Your failure, your ultimate failure in your #1 passion has swept the nation. So maybe, let that digest and then get to a question about basketball.
All right, I got to ask about the star of your program, Amir Khan. You got to walk me through this because last year he was the darling of the tournament. He's doing the boombox and everything. But then I thought he left and he came back. When he came back, did you make him run suicides to get back on the team or what? How'd that work?
You know how he got back on the team? It's a great story. Amir loves McNeese. He bleeds blue and gold, and he went up to North Carolina for a little while and just, he's born and raised here in Lake Charles, and, he just couldn't be away. He wanted to come back for a 3-peat. Well, he came back over like a fall break. He was still at NC State, and I asked if he could come to practice, and I was like, of course, you're a legend here, you can come to practice. And next thing I know, I look up and he's got a towel over his shoulder. He's not a manager for us at the time, and first time our guys get on the floor for a loose ball, there's some sweat, and Amir's diving in there wiping up sweat. I'm like, this dude is passionate. And so when they asked me if he could come back after he did what he did when he wasn't even a manager for us, I couldn't imagine how hard he'd work for us if he was a manager. And I said, no doubt about it, he can come back. And then, of course, we put him back in his role. My youngest son was a little upset, a little jealous of Amir early on because in the Cayman Islands we didn't have Amir, so the guys let him lead them out with the boombox. So when Amir came back, I said, "Son, you're gonna have to learn from the best. You can't play that role if we have him. You know, that's like." You get your starting point guard back, and the backup point guard thinks they should still be starting, but that couldn't be the case for my son Ford. So we put Amir back in his role, and of course he's starring in it now.
That's an awesome story.
Coach, what about this? So, like, you've always been known as a very talented recruiter, right? And at LSU, it's kind of got like the big name and maybe a ton of resources behind it. Now at McNeese, like you said, you have great support. Everybody's involved, but you're probably having to get more creative with kind of how you sell guys, especially now in the NIL age. So, as someone who maybe always had this success kind of traditionally recruiting, how have you adjusted in this modern era in a different setting to still be able to create the success that you have?
Well, one thing to be able to follow up with the exposure that we've gotten with making back-to-back tournaments, beating Clemson in the tournament last year, that helped tremendously. And then Lake Charles and our facilities kind of sell themselves. Like I said, we got great support. So, man, we got one of the nicest mid-major facilities in the country, if not the nicest. And our people come out and pack it out for every game. So, we are able to show them that. I still using the same contacts that I had at LSU, man. It's just it's kind of a fraternity, and then everybody it's about relationships. Recruiting is about relationships, and I've been fortunate enough to forge quite a few really, really good relationships. So when guys, entered the transfer portal, I got a lot of calls about kids that wanted an opportunity, and my staff and I were able to put together a really good roster. I got to give a lot of credit to my staff. They did a tremendous job recruiting these guys, picking these guys out and putting a team together. Some recruiting's not always just about putting together the most talented team. You gotta put the pieces of the puzzle together, and I think my staff did a great job doing that.
Coach, I got a real quick two-part question here. The first part is predicting sports is very, very hard. I could not have seen Penn State coming or Clemson coming, so I think I deserve a little bit of grace there. That's the first part of my question.
I can give you some grace. I agree with that.
The second part of my question is, let's talk about Vanderbilt. This is a very good team from the Southeastern Conference, scores a lot of points. It's a unique challenge with the guard play they have. Let's talk about Vanderbilt a little bit. What you got on them?
Yeah, man, they got a really good team. When you watch teams and you see how they play together and how connected they are, to me, that's how you know you're a good basketball team. And this team is very connected on both ends of the floor. They all know what's expected of them. They all know their roles in the game and how they play those roles to help them win. And I think they do a great job of that. They have two dynamic guards in Tyler Tanner and Duke Miles. Tyler Nichols, shoots it as well as anybody in college basketball. And then all those other guys, man, they play hard. They know how to play. They're skilled. So that's why they're such a great offense. I think they're seventh in the country in KenPom right now. But we're a good defense. It's going to be a contrast in styles. They don't turn the ball over very much at all. I think top 5 in the country in not turning the ball over, and we're number 1 in the country in turnover percentage and steal percentage. So we're gonna play our game and be aggressive, and then at the same time try to contain Tanner and Miles, keep them out of the lane. And people are saying they're going to score in the 80s on us, but we haven't given up 70 points in the last, I think, 15 games. So it should be a fun game to watch.
Coach, that's exactly what I wanted to ask about right there, is the fact that you guys force a ton of turnovers. You slow the game down in the sense you're not allowing a whole lot of points defensively. What goes into that overall defensive philosophy, and how do you instill the drive in your players to work that hard on the defensive end?
Yeah, we can kind of play it both ways defensively. It sounds weird in the sense of we have the slowest tempo in the country defensively, and that's because of our press, and a lot of times if you get conservative against our press, we're going to run some shot clock off, and then we play a switching man-to-man, which doesn't give you any angles to run your actions. Therefore, I think we've had definitely over one a game. I think we're up close to 50 shot clock violations on the year. So we get a lot of turnovers there, and then we lead the nation in steal percentage. So we're really aggressive in the full court, and then in the half court we try to sit down and guard, and that's just kind of our philosophy. You know, we're going to recruit really, really good players, demand that they play defense, and then give them a lot of freedom offensively, put them in a position to be successful. And I think it's a fun way to play. It's certainly a fun way to coach.
Love that.
Coach, what about for you personally, man? Because, again, you've coached a ton of basketball, obviously, been in this game your entire life. Like you said, back-to-back tournaments already. What is the difference now being the head coach of a...
I get to talk to you, T-Bob.
No, but I mean, okay, yes, functionally, right? Yeah, you're going to have all the stories, you're going to be the TV. But, like, for you emotionally, what does it mean for you to now get to be, and does it feel different now being the man going into this game, in this tournament?
It certainly does. I mean, my dad was a coach. My grandfather was a coach. Coaches in my family. My sister's a great volleyball coach down in the southern part of Alabama in Mobile's won multiple state championships as an assistant coach and the head JV coach there. Which coaching is in our family. And then, believe it or not, my mother may be a bigger basketball fan than all of them, than my dad and everybody included. So basketball's been a part of my life my entire life. When I was born, I was at my dad's basketball game in college at UNA 3 days later. So,
no way.
Since I could draw a bracket, I've been doing this and playing out in the backyard and going one-on-one to see who wins in the tournament. So to be able to, I've participated in, I think this will be my 8th NCAA tournament, but to, as a walk-on at UAB, I didn't have a whole lot of say as a player there. I did actually get in the game and get a rebound, so I was proud of that.
Oh, let's go, dude.
Got blown out by old Jess Settles and the Iowa Hawkeyes. He actually did our games in the Cayman, so it was cool to catch up with him there. He's a great guy, but to be able to do this now for over 40 years and now be able to go in this, and this is my program to lead them into the tournament. And I don't know if it's a good thing or bad, I'll tell you after Thursday, but be able to make all the decisions to see if we can get in is a dream come true, man. It's hard to express the emotions that I've had over this week, but it's a dream come true.
Coach, I hold in my hand the bracket filled out by Mr. T-Bob.
Let's be clear about a couple of things.
Listen,
here. This is a work in progress.
We all know it's not a work in progress.
Bracket.
It's a completed bracket.
It's literally not. I have scratches all over the place. Before you sat for me, I was scratching out Vanderbilt and putting McNeese in.
We all know the 12-5 is always a sexy underdog pick, but T-Bob didn't go with that. He went with Vanderbilt to win this game. What do you say to the haters out there like T-Bob there?
No, Coach. Don't listen to this guy. He's trying to sow dissent. Me and you, okay? We never got to meet, but we got to stick together. I was changing it as he snatched it. Coach, I was changing it as he snatched it out of my hands. I'm changing it to McNeese, okay?
Hey, McNeese gave me a second chance. I'll give you a second chance, T-Bob. Get that thing right.
We're going, you know what? We're going, look, I'm doing it right now. I'm also putting Speedy on here. I'm going Hofstra as well. I was tempted with both, and now I'm all in. Production, I'm told you have a graphic for Coach here that you wanted to show him. Okay, here it is. Okay, How about that?
All right.
Coach Armstrong, you've been.
This guy's getting ready for the NCAA tournament. We're wasting his time with this.
Ooh.
No, not oof.
Brandon, I hope you didn't pick us.
It's a good point, Brandon. That's a great point.
That's a very good pick, Coach.
This guy owns me, huh?
Champion Penn State. I'm getting old. I can't see.
This guy owns me. I guess I'm just gonna.
Again, though, let he who without sin cast the first stone. I had a very similar top 12 myself.
Sure.
It was a weird year.
And you picked Vanderbilt to beat McNeese.
I did not. No. Get out of here. Yeah, that was a dumb pick. You're right. You know what, Coach Armstrong? Thank you so much for joining us, man. This was super fun. Kick ass. Screw Vandy. Take care of business. Go Pokes. Let's go. You have a great weekend and have a great tournament, man. Have a great weekend.
Go Pokes, fellas. Thank you guys for having me.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Coach Bill Armstrong. That is really cool. A lifetime of coaching, both in his family, his life, and now You're the head coach. You know, like you said, what did he say? Been in 8 tournament games. Now finally getting to be the head coach. Well, that's awesome, man.
My trilogy, my favorite trilogy coming up next.
Oh,
next
let's
segment.
go,
Yep.
dude.
And where we're going, we won't need roads, Connor.
Uh-oh. They don't even
Kylo
know.
Ren Star Wars.
They don't even know that.
Did you really pick Vandy, T-Bone?
Yeah, pick Vandy. It's right there.
Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool here on FS1. And look, college basketball, March Madness, it's here. We continue to talk to coaches, legends of the game. And right now, let's talk to another legendary coach in his own right. Now he's on this side of the equation. You see lessons from the sideline. You catch him all over your television. It's Tom Crean. Coach Crean, what's going on, man? Thank you so much for waking up with us this morning. How we doing?
I'm doing great. It's great to be with you guys. So thank you.
Like I said, you know, you have Final Four to your name, multiple coaches of the year to your name, over 400 wins. So as someone who has had success on this stage, knows what it takes, what are the kind of common denominator traits or and that could be like intangible, maybe like chemistry, or like even just on the court. What have you identified as the biggest separators when it comes to making it through this tournament?
Well, you got to keep coaching your team through all this pageantry, through all the distractions, and the distractions are more than ever, obviously, because people are dealing with NIL offers, they're dealing with the portal, they're thinking about the NBA, which people have always thought about the NBA, but now the money of leaving or transferring is so heavy, and it's going on, and you just got to keep your team locked in, which means you can't stop coaching, you can't stop demanding, you got to keep them executing. That is a big part of it. But I think every day as you go into this tournament, as you look at the teams, there's certain things that carry over. And you may miss free throws in the tournament, but you've got to be able to get to the free throw line. And so studying free throw numbers, free throw differentials, that is mammoth. You have to be able to do that. And I think the other thing that really transfers is rebounding. And we can say, well, maybe the lower seeded teams can't go against the big boys, but in most cases, they can, because they're really good at either blocking out, they're good at offensive rebounding. I think those things are huge parts of it. So when you're coaching your team, you're getting them ready for not only each individual team, but for all the things that they have to make sure they do well. And then are you overcoming your weaknesses? Like if you're not a real good 3-point shooting team, you've got to make sure that your transition game is great, that your offensive rebounding game is great, and that you're able to get to the foul line. So it's just things like that. But the more shooting you have, the better you're going to feel about your brackets, the better you're going to feel about your team, and the more confidence your team is going to have during the games.
Coach Brandon Walker here, the #1 college football media personality in the world, but I also dabble in college basketball. My question is this. Last year, 4 #1 seeds went to the Final Four. This year, it feels like we have a very, very strong 4 #1 seeds again, and it feels like it could be a repeat of last year. Now, there's no way to tell, but you think this day and age, NIL, transfer portal being what it is strengthening the top of the sport, is strengthening the 4 #1 seeds where they have a bigger grip on the sport than they've ever had before?
Absolutely, because I think there's still upset potential from the lower seeds, but there's less of them. Like I look at the 5-12 and now if Christian Anderson Jr. is not healthy for Texas Tech after getting hurt at the Big 12 tournament and slipping on that court, now Akron's got a chance. But if Christian Anderson is healthy, he's as good as any guard at manipulating the pick and roll, at making decisions, and that puts a lot more pressure on Akron, who's got depth, who can score a lot of points to be able to win that game. So like when I go through the brackets, there's definite differences on the highest level of teams. And then every once in a while, some teams are going to sneak in. Like I think South Florida as an 11 is a team that there's no question in my mind they could get to the second weekend. I mean, there's just no question because they bring speed, they attack you, they get on the glass, they do more than shoot threes, they defend you and get those turnovers, but they drive to the rim so well. So like, but there's fewer of those to me. So I don't see it being all the #1s making it this year. I really don't. But I do think it'll be a lot of the higher seeded teams. Maybe there's a couple 5s that could sneak in there, but I think it's going to be more of a 2, maybe more of a 3 to go along with the ones that get there.
Coach, I think it's fair to say you had some fire as a coach. You were a fiery guy. And
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
You fired up. I'm curious how you would have handled it if you showed up after playing 30 games on wood. If you showed up to the conference tournament and now all of a sudden the conference is like, hey, by the way, guys, we're playing on glass and your players are slipping around out there. How would you have handled that situation?
Well, first and foremost, you know that, I mean, that they're very smart people. Brett Yormark is one of the smartest people I've been around. He's an Indiana grad, so I got to know him when I was coaching at Indiana, and he was running the Nets. So you're going to give them the benefit of the doubt that they did all the testing that had to be done. But once there was one issue that turned into two issues and there was concerns, then it would have had to change, because now we're in real time. And that's where it's going to really be tough if Christian Anderson is not where he needs to be inside of this game. Because I'm telling you, he's really good. He could sneak into the lottery. He's that type of player. And Texas Tech is still playing at a high level even without JT Toppin. But I would say this. They didn't waste time once it became an issue. It became a real issue from everything that I understand. And they got it done quickly, which I would give Brett Yormark credit for that. But I still have a hard time believing that they didn't do a great job of testing numerous ways to make sure it was as foolproof as possible going in to the tournament. And it's unfortunate that we're a couple slips and maybe a couple of injuries.
Coach, going off of Christian Anderson a little bit, I have to, first of all, give a shout out to our guy, Doug, in the tech room. Indiana grad, loves you. And
Thank you.
He had a question.
Tell Doug, that's great.
Yes, absolutely. He had a question.
Got a good stroke, too.
Yes, he's a great basketball player. You should check him out, Coach.
Where was he at when we started in 2008-09 and I was doing walk-on tryouts all the way through February?
Well, first of all, let me stop.
He was maybe
He's
seven.
not a great basketball
Coach,
player.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he is. We have a lot of young people here. He was probably like 8.
Yeah. But
Okay. All right. I didn't thank you. All right.
he was wondering, obviously, you've coached a bunch of great guards during your time, whether it's Dwayne Wade or Victor Oladipo, and you mentioned Christian Anderson right there. Is there that flashy attacking guard that you see in this year's field in the tournament that we could really be keeping our eyes on, somebody who's really shining right now in college hoops?
Well, I Darius Acup Jr. comes to mind. There's no doubt about that. And again, I think when you look at any of the freshmen, whether it's Kingston Flemings, who's at Houston, Bruce Thornton is an outstanding guard at Ohio State. I think they'll have a tough game with TCU, but he's the kind of guy, because he's such a good scorer, so strong, can get to the foul line. Those guys can put a team on their back. But whether it's A.J. DeBonsa, whether it's Cam Boozer, Darren Peterson, all those guys, as good as the freshmen are and as good as the freshman guards are, if they're not surrounded by people that can make shots on the outside, which create more openings and space for them to be who they are, then they can get negated, right? Because teams are so good at loading up their help. They're so good at getting inside those elbows and making your drives hard. But if I had to pick the two that I think could do that right now, I would say it would be Acuff and Flemings, without a doubt. And they're good. I mean, they're going to go high. And then the best guard core to me is Arizona, because they've got Jaden Bradley, who is a tremendous leader, can get in the paint, can shoot threes. He had that game winner against Iowa State the other night, which was incredible. And Braden Burries is a guy that most people know about now, but he's going to be a lottery pick, and it's probably going to be a single-digit number. So, when you look at their guard core of those two, along with Anthony Del Orso, now I pick them to win it. They could go all the way because they've got the front line. They've got enough shooting. They can really rebound it, but they complement each other as guards.
Wait, so let's go ahead and nail you down here. Since you're on this side of the equation, we prognosticate, we predict. You got Arizona winning the Natty here?
Yeah, I do.
Who's the rest
over Florida?
Okay, over Florida. Who's the rest of the Final Four?
I have Duke in there, though I think it's going to be I can't believe the brackets that Duke has. If they're the number one seed, to put all those teams like that.
Okay, thank you. I'm a layman, coach, and I was kind of saying the same thing, but then all the basketball nerds are telling me, well, actually, these teams they're not as good as the brands or as the coaches necessarily.
Well, yeah, St. John's is a 5 seed. That's crazy. And there were a couple seeding issues, like Arkansas playing on Sunday, winning the championship on a Sunday. Okay, that's great. Put them in a Friday game. You're sending them all the way to Portland to play an afternoon game early all the way after playing Sunday. Like, there's just certain things that like don't make sense to me, and that was one of them. But not, I do think Duke will get there. But the team I have Virginia or Ohio State winner. I mean, I'm sorry, the Virginia or Iowa State winner getting to the Final Four. If I had to pick, I think it's going to be Virginia, and I think they'll make the Final Four. I think they have everything. They can shoot it. They're deep. But what they have, guys, that's incredible is how they protect the rim. And so you're going to have a hard time scoring at the basket against that Virginia team. And they have enough players that can make shots and plays, but they're so good. I mean, they blocked 12 shots the other night against Duke. I mean, their rim protection rate, rim block rate is unbelievable in the last month of the season.
Coach, what about this? I've seen this go viral. I don't know how real it is, but there seems to be a lot of players chirping about it, and it's kind of popped up a few times over the years. Did you ever run into any overinflated basketballs during the NCAA tournament? They had
Not that.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
New basketballs. New basketballs were always the problem. The ones that hadn't been broken in.
So I had never explain that a little bit. Like, for those of us that maybe don't understand, like, why would I guess we all just assume that it's stock standard. The NCAA has it lined up. Here's the ball you're going to use, and it's no different than every other game.
Well, I think they've gotten better with this, but you've got to break it in. I mean, you've got to have it go through. It doesn't necessarily have to go through a game, but it's got to be broken in through practices or through passing, dribbling, shooting, because it's so slick, right? Mm-hmm. It's like that. It's like a ball when you go to the store and you go to Walmart or Target and you come out with that shiny ball that costs $12.99 and it's so slick it's slipping off your hands. Now, obviously, these balls cost a lot more and they're a better quality, but they're slick. And I just think the overinflated, like, there's no reason that should even be a possibility. But the other thing that's big too now is sometimes the rims. In these NBA arenas, the rims have a tighter tension a lot of times than the college rims. So, like, you have to make sure that everything is lined up as close as it can possibly be to the way a team would play in their college gym. Obviously, the gyms are going to be different. The arenas are going to be different. But the ball should not be different. The rim tension should not be different. Everything else is going to be different. And the other thing they got to do is they got to get the heat turned up in some of these places, man. I mean, it gets ridiculous how cold it is. And especially in arenas that have hockey surfaces and that play hockey in there. And I just think, like, that's the kind of technical stuff that everybody's got to make sure is good. The site operators have got to make sure of that, but there's no reason whatsoever for overinflated basketballs when you have time to get them ready.
So that's pretty cool.
I've never considered in my life that it's cold in a basketball arena.
So I was just
never once.
It's freezing at times, especially the hockey place.
Welcome to the real world, Brandon.
It's insane the amount of variables. It's some excellent insight into the amount of variables that are actually at play. I mean, we always hear about, like, sight lines, like, oh, this isn't your home gym, but, like, it goes way beyond that. Now I would like to get some insight from you into the pressure, the emotional side of the game. Whether you're approaching this tournament and you've been at the head of favorites, you've been at the head of teams that have been trying to punch up.
Sure.
How do you handle that and not let it overwhelm you?
Well, I think there's a couple things, and I think as you go up the ladder as a team, you got to keep posing the questions for your team. You got to get them asking the right questions, whether it's preparation, whether it's about their game. And I don't mean questioning, but having the right questions on how we're going to win. Because the further up the ladder you go, all you're doing is giving answers. I mean, there'll be walk-ons as you go up the ladder. They'll have 5 or 6 people around them in a locker room or in an open practice type of situation talking to them. And all of a sudden you can get tricked as a player and as a coach as to what the most important thing is. I'll give you this story, and I got this from Jim Tressel. We were speaking together at a banquet in Middletown, Ohio. It was called the Pigskin Roundball Review, and we got a chance to speak, and I sat next to him on the dais. And it changed how I viewed coaching. He said, when you have a team, you are always trying to raise the vision, okay, and keep the reality, all right, at a distance, because the reality of where the team thinks they are versus the vision of where they think they can go, that's all the energy of your team. And once the vision, okay, and the reality get too close together, now you're in trouble, because now your team thinks they've reached a certain point and you lose that hunger, you lose that drive. You're always trying to create the energy. And he wrote it out for me, and I kept it forever because that made the most sense to me. Because what happens is you reach a point, and this is the final thing that I think is so big on this. You can make the tournament and think that's enough. You can win the first round or the second round and get to the Sweet 16 and think you've done enough. You let your guard down. You lose that emotional drive to keep getting better and to keep achieving, and you take a breath and you feel like you're there. As a coach, and the leadership of the team has got to make sure you keep striving for more, that you keep the vision of where you can go at a high level, which means there's got to be tough practices. They don't have to be long, but you've got to be demanding. You've got to be truthful in the film sessions. You still have to drive people and pierce them at times to understand how good they can be, because there's so many people on the outside talking about the wrong stuff. They're talking about what's going to happen after. They're talking about the portal. They're talking about the NIL. They're talking about the future rather than keeping the player in the present. And the present is you're not moving forward if you're not getting better every day. And that as a leader is what your number one job is, no matter who you're playing, because every matchup is different. And I think the matchups become the matchup differences become greater as you go deeper into the tournament. Obviously, once you get to the Sweet 16, it's very matchup driven because it's so hard to get to the Elite Eight. But you've got to keep your team hungry through the whole thing. And I'm telling you now, I'm saying that because it's a lot harder than people think to keep your team on a path moving towards that national championship.
Yeah, it feels like one of those classic, easier said than done, right? Because how do you, you can say those things, guys, we can win a championship, but how do you raise the actual vision? How do you, that's, every now and then you get a nugget that's going to stick with you. That's awesome, man. Is that why you're now doing lessons from the sidelines?
No, that's a podcast. That's a podcast we do with my brother-in-laws, Jim and John. They have the Harbaugh Coaching Academy. And so that's something that we started, and John is a big proponent of that. And so we've had a few podcasts, and I just keep that up because I do those in here. But I think that's big. Yeah, we do the podcast, and I want people on there that are going to tell the truth. I mean, it's not hey, tell me about how you got started and tell me what you do in your off time. No, what are the real deals about how you get the most out of people?
Yeah.
How you get winning. And I think this time of year, I'm telling you now, there's a reason it's so taxing, because it puts a ton of pressure on the coaching staffs to keep your team as locked in as they can possibly be to what is in front of them. And the level of practice you have, the level of film session that you have, the level of preparation, you don't have to overdo it. And Tom Izzo is a master at this. He started this back in 1998. We played Eastern Michigan in Hartford on a Thursday night late. And we were going to play Princeton in the final 32 game on a Saturday. And he started implementing these 20 to 25 minute film sessions with the team. So we would still have our practice, which might be an hour and a half. We might do a walkthrough in the ballroom, which everybody does. But he never kept the team too long in the room. Now, I was guilty of having too long of film sessions at times. But when we got to the tournament, I kept that stuff in that 25, 30-minute range, and then we just did maybe a few more of them, because you got to keep your team fresh. But if they don't keep having questions about what's in front of them, all of a sudden they start thinking they have all the answers, and that is not a good place to be. And just because you're in the tournament doesn't mean you're striving for a national championship. And you've got to do everything you can possibly do to keep your team focused on that mission, and it's hard. Everybody thinks, well, it just gets easy, man. And we're going to be like Rocky training for Mr. T back in the day, where we got the pageantry and the ring is open for everybody to come and kiss the babies and take pictures. And Mr. T's in the back doing all his work. No, you got to train like that, because that's what got you to this place. And that's what you've got to keep doing. You just don't have to do it as long, but you have to do it to keep your team sharp and focused.
Coach, I really can't thank you enough, man. This has been a real pleasure. The insight's unparalleled. I feel like I learned a ton.
Yeah.
Got me fired up, man. I'm about leadership, basketball, everything. Coach Crean, thank you so much, man. Have a great tournament.
Thanks. Love you guys.
Look, there's Doug. Coach, that's Doug. That's Doug. Look at him. He loves you.
Doug.
Doug used to work at 50 Donuts in Sarasota. Tell him that.
Wait,
Doug was 8 when I started out. I can see that. Thanks, Doug.
Coach, do you know a 5-0 Donuts in Sarasota?
Absolutely. But you know why I don't go there anymore? Because they took away. They used to have this big time caramel donut.
And the
all right, and
lemon
it was
one
like
too, yeah.
the lemon. I still go for the lemon, but this caramel donut to go with the lemon, man, you could go there every other day. But I love 5-0 donuts, and I love the price. All right, the cheaper donuts, the exquisite
That $1
donuts.
lemon, yeah.
Yeah, the lemon was unbelievable. But then they replaced it with a strawberry.
Yeah, that was Doug's
I'm not
idea.
as big on the I love the lemon donut.
Yeah, I could talk about the lemon donut for hours.
Me too. Let's do another show.
Yeah, me and you, yeah.
Coach, thank you so much, man. You have a great day.
God,
You're
I
welcome.
I love March.
Thank you.
Oh, man. I could eat a peach for hours. You know where that comes from?
No. I legitimately thought that Doug worked at 5-0 Donuts in Sarasota.
KB, he's
I thought
got
it
the
for a second.
Nardwuar. He's always got the insight. Okay, guys, for real this time. Coming up next, Brandon Walker's favorite movie trilogy ever and some NFL tapas as news continues to break.
It's going to be an offer you can't refuse.
That's right.
I pitied the fool.
All right, guys, we got some NFL news to get to. Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool. The Wednesday crew is here. Brandon Walker, your Dolphins.
That's right.
Back in the news.
That's right.
Trading Jaylen Waddle to the Broncos.
That's right.
Here's okay.
I think it's a great pickup for the Broncos. I think he's a guy that was looking to take that next step in his career, and the Broncos are close anyway.
Bo Nix is good.
They throw it down the field. I think it's a fantastic pickup for them. It does shine a light on the fact that I am happy as a Dolphins fan that they have finally realized they have to tear it down to start over. And it is truly unique that in American professional sports, in order to get good, you have to trade all your best players.
Yeah, it is.
Well, like the Dolphins are in a spot where they had like 4 or 5 good players, and their response and their fix for it is let's get rid of all the good players, and that is how you do it. You tear it down. You get Waddle. You get a first-round pick. Now they got HN that they're probably going to have to trade for a second-round pick or something like that if they could get it. He is a great running back, but I'm happy because finally they're trying to get out of the sea of mediocrity they've been swimming in as a Dolphin for 3 decades.
Now, from the Malik Willis perspective,
Sure.
it's kind of interesting, right? Because
I gotta think they told him that. Listen, we're stripping down. I don't think they signed him saying come throw to Jaylen Waddle.
yeah,
And then he gets there and they ship Jaylen Waddle.
well, it's just interesting though because Malik Willis is going to be judged as to whether or not he is worthy of investment, essentially.
Yeah.
And he's kind of going to have to do it, maybe not with a hand tied behind his back, but it's like, hey, you have to prove to us that you're worthy of like a true investment in order for us to support you, but we're not going to like fully support you to achieve that proof.
I think everybody knows what this relationship is going in. I don't think anybody's going in thinking this is a long-term, rest of our life till death do us part marriage. It could turn into that, but Malik Willis is looking for a spot to be a number 1. Miami's looking for a Band-Aid to put over its post-Tua life. They came together. Malik Willis now gets to be a 1. He's not going to have the best weapons, but you knew that going in. Even if Jaylen Waddle was there, Miami still doesn't have that much around you. So you knew going in that it wasn't going to be this incredible storybook ending. And maybe it turns into that. Maybe he gets them through this gap period and they start building up draft picks. Maybe he's so good the first year they don't have to try to get in a spot for a quarterback next year. Maybe they get in a spot for Jeremiah Smith. Maybe they get in a spot for somebody else that can help him.
Connor, do you have something to add?
I was just going to say, I think to Brandon's point, this is what we kind of expected would happen last year.
Yeah.
And then they wound up actually being pretty decent by the end of the year. Maybe
They
close
suck
to
at
500.
sucking.
Yeah.
They've always sucked at sucking.
When you're supposed to suck,
Yeah.
they do not. But
The Burrow year, they could have had Burrow, but they won too many games going down the stretch. Ended up with Tua Tagovailoa.
Yes,
They don't suck, but Dolphins do have blowholes.
that is true.
That's an interesting point.
And
You don't know that they don't suck.
I don't know about that.
You don't know. Yeah, that's fine.
Eba though made a good point yesterday about the Dolphins.
about the suck. Oh, no.
And well, yeah, that maybe too. Dolphins logo, go back to it.
Stop.
The old one where the
Franchise
dolphin is
brand.
standing,
Yeah.
Kyle,
as
thoughts?
opposed to laying down.
I don't get into logos that much. I know like the Dolphins one is a little bit feminine. I'd say that they can make it more violent, perhaps.
But Dolphins don't
more
have arms.
representative of Dolphins.
Dolphins don't have arms. How can it be violent?
Oh, you need arms to be violent.
I think so.
Really?
Yeah, like the Notre Dame Fighting Irish guy is violent because he's got his arms up.
Man.
Oh, I thought you were doing a guns joke.
No, I wasn't doing it. I guess you could affix a pistol to him to make him more violent.
Bare arms.
Dolphins, aren't they pretty violent?
Yeah.
They got
You're
some.
thinking of orcas.
No. Dolphins have.
You're thinking of orcas.
Dolphins are a little problematic.
You're thinking of porpoise. The Dolphins are not
No,
problematic.
no.
they are.
Buddies.
I think
They are.
Dolphins. Let's just say there might be an aphrodisiac in the water
There's
that they act upon.
They dabble in things that are maybe salty.
Maybe.
Okay.
That's what.
nature.
That is the rumor. We don't want to be spreading that and potentially throwing false claims.
Who's going to
Yeah.
come after you?
We're on national
Dolphin.
television right
Avoid
now.
the lawsuit with the Dolphins.
Exactly. I don't want to do that. But
Saw
when it comes
Afro-
to
Oh wait, never mind. That's a different story.
when it comes to the Miami Dolphins, got to go back to the old logo. Embrace the suck for right now and then.
Yeah, but
go
what he
back to
said was the old
tradition.
logo was standing. That
Yeah,
Dolphins not standing.
I wasn't 100% serious, Brandon. That's what we do. He
You
kind
were
of looks like
serious.
he's standing up because he's tall. The other guy's laying down.
All right, how about this, guys?
God.
The NFL.
You're never giving us the trilogy, are you?
The NFL's going to open on Wednesday this year.
What? What'd you say?
The NFL's going to open on Wednesday this year.
Wednesday what?
Wednesday.
That's
instead
stupid.
of Thursday.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
Nuh-uh.
On NBC Sports.
Really?
Yeah.
Can I?
Thursday's game's going to be in Melbourne.
Melbourne.
Melbourne, Australia.
Really stretching the limits of
Good day, mate.
Yeah.
What?
Wednesday football into an Australian game.
The
Being played
NFL,
on
listen,
Friday, I guess, there.
The NFL is quiet taking over the world. They're taking every day.
I know.
And eventually they're coming for college football. They're taking every day. They're sneak taking every day. They took Friday between Thanksgiving and the weekend this year. They're eventually, we will have Tuesday night
They're
games.
talking about taking, did you say they're talking about taking Blackout Wednesday?
They're taking everything, yes.
And we talked about it last week, the fact that, hey, more football is good football. I'm in the camp where I'm like, I don't think it's good, the fact that they are taking over. I like having the
You're in the camp of
scarcity.
football bad.
No. Trust me, I am not anti-football. But I like the scarcity of it and the fact that we spend all week building up to Saturday for college football or building up to Sunday, and then we're just loaded up with all these great games. I don't like them being
Sometimes you
spread
want to
out.
watch a movie.
Also,
Yeah.
for
You want to
once,
watch a TV show.
think about the fantasy football managers. I mean, imagine managing the
yeah.
waiver wire when we
Right.
have a Wednesday game.
That's a good point.
Horrendous.
Think of the fantasy football players. Please, Roger Goodell.
Fantasy baseball is awful as a thing. I can't do fantasy baseball just because of that reason. Because you're constantly having to stay in touch with the lineups.
Evo just joined my fantasy baseball league.
Really?
Yeah, with my folks back home.
That's a big
So
time
that's-
honor for you.
So that's
It's
a
me and the
that's a
nine
relationship
smartest
you and
men
I
in Mississippi.
You and I will never have.
Yeah, because I don't like fantasy baseball, but I appreciate you thinking of me.
I wasn't thinking of you at all. And
Why'd you go
fantasy
for a
baseball is
handshake
pretty
there?
terrific.
Okay, fair.
I enjoy both fantasy football
Are
and
you a fantasy baseball guy, KB?
No.
Too much. It's too much.
You didn't have to laugh at that.
Most of the fantasy sports are quite difficult to get into. I've tried all of them.
You have to be a real nerd to be good on a yearly basis in all of them. How good are you?
Fine. I did an auction league, and that kind of turned me off from fantasy baseball for a little bit because I was just like, the drafs take too long.
I did.
Yeah,
I did an auction league and I loved it.
Yeah.
It's fun for football. Wait, Brandon, your favorite trilogy?
We're doing. I have one more segment.
Oh, is it? Oh, we don't have. You're right. We don't have time right here, do we? We have to go. Yeah, you're right. My bad. I didn't see we were up against the clock here. All right. Next segment. Hashtag AskWub. You go on Twitter. You ask us questions. We'll answer them. It can be about anything. And then Brandon Walker. His top movie trilogy
Of all time.
of all time. The Tote.
The what?
Trilogy of all time.
The tote?
The Tote.
That sounds sexual somehow.
What? Greetings and welcome back to Wake Up Barstool. We got one more segment with you today. We got a few questions to get to, but first,
Here's the thing. Star Wars, the story of each trilogy, all three trilogies, are so convoluted and unbelievable that just they don't even count. I can't even take Star Wars seriously as a trilogy.
but is Star Wars the greatest trilogy of trilogies?
You're kind of stepping on the segment, Brandon.
The Godfather trilogy, the first two are incredible, and the third one falls off a cliff, so it's out. Obviously, the same thing happened to Major League. Major League 1 and 2, terrific. Major League Back to the Minors just doesn't hold up to the rest of it. And then there's D2, the Mighty Ducks, and D3. D3, I don't even know what we were doing at
I don't
D3, the
remember
Mighty
D3.
Ducks, guys. I don't
Yeah,
even
I
know
don't
what we
remember.
were doing. So the answer, of course, the greatest movie trilogy of all time, Toy Stories 1, 2, and 3.
Sorry, go ahead. I didn't know you were going to expound on that. I thought you were just tossing that out there. Go ahead.
The storytelling, the heartstrings, the weaving and the threading in and out of all 3 movies, excellent. Toy Story 4 never happened, and Toy Story 5 damn sure not going to happen.
Toy Story 5's premise is pretty good, though.
Yes.
With the iPad basically invading the toy space, I would say this, Brandon. Well, I have a couple questions. First,
Airplane 1 and 2 also a great trilogy.
does Back to the Future fall off in the same way as you mentioned Godfather and Major League?
3 is just hard to get through, man.
A little bit, right?
The Old West, yeah.
And then what about this? As much as I want to,
Don't sleep on the Creed trilogy, by the way.
I've actually never seen any of them.
I hate you so much.
But as much as I want to talk crap to you, as much as I want to hate on your opinion, do you know who else says that Toy Story is literally the most perfect trilogy in cinematic history? It's very much on the record.
Who?
Quentin Tarantino. So you're in pretty damn good company. Brandon Walker, noted ball knower.
I don't know who that is.
Favorite trilogy. Philip, hashtag Wake Up Barstool, no love for the Rush Hour trilogy?
Again, 3 falls off a cliff. The Firstborn trilogy is excellent. It's way up there. Rush Hour 1 and 2, great. Rush Hour 3 just did nothing for me.
I don't remember Rush Hour 3 at all.
It happened. It existed.
Hashtag Ask Wub. If NBA basketball changed to a single elimination tournament instead of best of 7, would you be more invested in the NBA playoffs?
I'm so damn sick of people crapping on the NBA just to crap on the NBA. The NBA playoffs, the best of 7 format, it's amazing. These 7-game series have their own storylines and their ups and downs, and the NBA playoffs are great. People trying to change the NBA just because they want to act like they don't watch online, shut up. Great question. Thanks for watching.
It can be, look, it can be a situation too where, like, yes, one game the stakes feel higher, but yeah, but you're losing a lot as well. Like
Elks.
You're sacrificing a lot.
Edmonton Elks.
That's just the team.
My question for Brandon: who's your early Grey Cup pick in the CFL?
The Edmonton Elks or the Hamilton Tiger Cats?
Can an American team win? We've won in the past.
We say Tie Cats, okay?
I said Tiger Cats.
Yeah, it's Tie Cats.
Why?
That's what we say in Hamilton.
Okay.
Shout out to Baltimore Stallions, 1995 Grey Cup winners.
Shout out Warren Moon.
We won a Grey Cup.
Is this your buddy from home?
Steve, ask Wub. Yo, Walker, where's my fantasy baseball league invite? I think it got lost in the mail. Did it get lost in the mail?
Well, the ironic thing is we have 12 spots and 10 people signed up, so I might have to reach out to fans eventually.
Big Steve's the man. He's a great supporter of the show. He drinks a lot of beers.
Kyle, what do you know about Lake Charles, Louisiana?
I just hate that. What is that? That I-10 bridge to Sulphur?
Oh.
Yeah. That'll make a man want to
Hey, you gotta calm.
not be a man.
You're right.
You gotta calm down a little bit. And you ain't gonna talk crap about sulfur or I-10.
Don't act like you even go out to Lake Charles, Louisiana. That's Texas.
I've only been there. But my best friend moved there for a
That's
while, so I went there a
Texas.
few times.
I once drove 2 hours
To go to the
to
Nugget?
Lake Charles, Louisiana, from Houston, with just Ben Mintz in the car on the phone talking to his high school tennis teammates.
Was it to go gamble or was it?
It was for a work event. Yeah, we
right.
were at a casino.
All right, what's next? Here we go. Christian, what team do you guys think has the greatest chance to be upset in March Madness this year? I mean, Texas Tech is one of the hot names there, right?
Alabama's very beatable by Hofstra.
UNC, yeah, especially with what's the name going on?
That program is foaming at the mouth. They're waking up in cold sweats because they haven't been upset in how many days?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're too hot right
Eat
now.
it.
Yeah.
They gotta have it.
They want it bad, yeah.
All right, guys, thank you so much. Connor Griffin, what's your favorite trilogy of all time?
Star Wars original trilogy.
Good answer.
Money.
Yeah, but it was 4, 5, and 6, so it wasn't really the original.
Yeah, but you also did Toy Story, which has a 4 and is coming out with a 5.
Yeah, Lord of the
So
Rings.
watch your tongue.
A true
Lord of the
trilogy
Rings. Oh
in
my
every
God,
sense.
you're such a nerd.
Lord of the Rings. I mean, all right, love you guys. See you tomorrow.
Doing 2 chicks.
Tournament.